We're here. I'm Beer Von Wright, and this is Grafikmetal's annual end of the year best albums of 2024. This is on prog metal, more specifically prog death metal, which you've heard me say all year round. This was the year of prog death, no particular order. If you want to see our entire Grafikmetal's ranked list of the top 240 albums across all the subgenres, then in addition being able to see the actual scoring for all the albums and where they fit in the entire ranking from 1 to 240, you can buy our Grafikmetal 2024 in review digital book. Okay, enough. Let's get to the list. This is Grafikmetal's favorite prog metal albums of 2024 in no particular order. Do Not Go to War with the Demons of Mazandaran by Lowen, a prog doom metal album released on October 4th. Please, Scott, send me to your futuristic Mesopotamia-like land. We begin this monstrous list with a band that, mark my words, will be huge. Nina's soul-searching, epic voice, Shima's impeccable guitars, and Cal's crushing drums. They have a bright, bright future. And who knew Shai Halad had friends? Fall by Borknagar, a prog Viking metal album released on February 23rd. From a new god to an old god. Disc 12 for these underrated legends who just keep exploring terrain untraveled. By Thy Cata-falque, a avant-garde metal album released on November 15th. We stick with the number 12 and add 20 as that is the number of musicians who contributed to this one. This is one of those that takes you on a journey. It starts out bleak and dark, but ends with optimism and light. Charismatic Leaders by Wheel, a prog metal album released on May 3rd. Wheel caught the attention of many a few years back as a clone of Tool, but since have continued to distance themselves and mark their own path. Kinship by IOTUNN, a prog melodic death metal album released on October 25th. An album, honestly, for everyone, in that there is something for each ear. Their greatest strength, and this one is no different, is their balance between aggression and gentleness, complex, simple, and dissonance and melody. Insanium by Whom Gods Destroy, a prog metal album released on March 15th. Mike Portnoy decided to rejoin Dream Theater. That left Derek Sheeran to form this latest band and tapped Bruno from Ingra, Bumblefoot, Yas, who is a hell of a bassist, and the underrated Croatian singer Dino, who also sings with TSO and now Whitesnake. This is where they have a leg up, but regardless, it's a solid, be it safe debut. The Last Will and Testament by Opeth, a prog death metal album released on November 22nd. We all know and love them, but the hype on this one was huge, given Mikel would bring back his iconic death growls.
This one also boasts one hell of a clever concept story set in post-World War I, unfolding the story of a wealthy, conservative patriarch whose will reveals shocking secrets. Get our best albums of 2024 book and see where you rank it. Messenger's Quest by Triton Project, a prog metal album released on February 22nd. Strap in. This one is epic. 77 minutes and only 5 songs. You run the math. It's nuts. One of those let's see what we can't do prog albums with a concept story at large scale. Think Dream Theater or Seventh Wonder. Under the Shadow of a Foreign Sun by Piah, a prog death metal album released on July 5th. Time is like a river, and it bridges all things. Early Opeth adjacent with a unique vibe, energy, and flow. It sounds like a painting. And like Mikkel, Luis has both a clean singing and aggressive growls to allow them full storytelling range. Sounds of the Forgotten by Witherfall, a prog power metal album released on May 31st. Think Sabotage or Symphony X. This is your classic power meets prog, and the band has already shown they are not afraid to experiment. The Ascendant Travels Among the Stars by Ubiquity, a prog death metal album released on September 15th. We continue that trend of dynamic singers and a band that loves its poetic messages. Anthony Denier, remember that name. This is the band's debut, and boy, did they make a statement. Voidkind by Divine, a post-prog sludge metal album released on April 19th. Half the time they remind you of bands like The Ocean Collective, Isis, or Mastodon, but the other half it's like Neurosis or Enslaved. This one sees them up their game with improved production. You can feel this one. Where Gods Fear to Speak by Oceans of Slumber, a prog metal album released on September 13th. The talent has always been there, laying dormant. Finally, we see them string together songs that show off their potential, and it's beautiful, as is Kami's immaculate voice and range. The Blossoming by Aetheria Conscientia, a prog black metal album released on June 7th. Great blend of black, prog, jazz, and psychedelia, and comes with a sci-fi story of epic cosmic horror. Watch out for those trees. A must for fans of Enslaved. Traverse the Village by Skyleague, a prog metal album released on January 19th. This one-man band and Tony Dunn brings a post-apocalyptic story about a nomadic traveler contemplating his fate and the demons that come within it to life in epic stature. Oh, and the music ain't half bad either. A must for world builders. Reclamation Part 2 by Amienus, a prog melodic death metal album released on August 30th. Not sure I agree with their logic to split into 2 albums and release just a few months apart, but you will not be bored with either. Think Devin Townsend level experimentation here. Major shout out to Chris Piah on drums. Best drummer right now candidate? Absolute Elsewhere by Blood Incantation, a prog death metal album released on October 4th. The album everyone talked about. The question is, how does Graphic Metal rank it? Get our Best Albums of 2024 book and find out for yourself. Pleroma by Argon, a prog death metal album released on June 24th. This album is all over the place, creepy violin, trumpet, and all. It doesn't always work, but it boosts many badass moments for patient listeners. Senescence by Vile Rites, a prog death metal album released on August 16th. An absolute beast with some of the best riffing of the year. Thank goodness for the tender moments, or your neck would fall off. Fossil Gardens by Hail Spirit Noir, a prog psych black metal album released on June 28th. A strong cup of Bauhaus black art. Beyond the Reach of the Sun by Ancients, a prog death metal album released on August 30th. We had to wait 8 years, but they instantly reminded us why they are among the very best. From their first pluck of the acoustic guitar, we sit down next to a fire pit to hear a tale that will take us beyond the plane of existence. Listen closely, and you might just learn secrets our species will not come to learn about for another millennium.
And that was the collection. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, it was just merely a collection of some of our favorite albums. If you want the entire ranked Graphic Metal's top 240 albums of 2024 of rock and metal across all the subgenres, plus the actual album scoring and where they fall ranked from 1 to 240, get our book, the Graphic Metal 2024 in Review digital book here. Plus, you get that warm and cozy feeling of knowing that you help support this channel, so this way we can build strong into the next year, which we have big plans for in 2025. I hope you had a great 2024 and good start to the next year. Until then, I'm Veer Von Wright, and you've been watching Graphic Metal. Cheers.